weather outside is not that cold, and if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Country with Celine. And on today's show, I have a very, very, very special guest. Please welcome Miss Paige Rutledge.
That I'm turning heads at the bar, walking in, breaking hearts, not caring what you think. Dancing all by myself, don't need anyone else, 'cause the spotlight's hitting me. Different than it ever has, boy. That hurt is fading fast, and I don't need a guy like you holding me back. Sing a lot, play that.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I really liked how many berries were in that. I was like, yes, keep going, keep going.
I'll keep going for you. So how have you been, Miss Paige?
Oh man, I've been great, very busy, and I think like there's been so many conversations I've been having with people recently, like in that world of like just being so busy and exhausted, but really happy at the same time, and like pushing towards that end of the year, looking forward to Christmas and having a little bit of a break, but not tired of what's going on. But it's definitely feeling like the end of the year. It's getting there.
So for those of you that don't know, which I'm sure majority of you guys do know, me and Paige are best friends here. So
Best friends.
throw that out there.
And
Throw
we
that
became
out
friends because of Country with Celine.
Exactly. And I was going to say, I know you and you have been go, go,
Yeah.
go, go, go. I swear you've been go, go, go since the day that I've met you. And
That
you
sounds
don't,
about right.
and you don't know how to take a break. But that's not a bad thing because you
No,
get
exactly.
but what's something that you do to help you not burn out?
I have really had to learn to take a break. And I've never, like, ever, even growing up as a kid, like, I've just always been in like sports or I was doing music lessons or just like was a constantly busy person. And so when I started like getting to the point where I was hitting those burnouts and having those breakdowns and being like, whoa, this is not okay. Like, and I always had this moment where I've never wanted to end up hating something because I'm exhausted from doing it. And so I knew that you have to take a break. You have to learn. And so I've been really kind or been trying to be kind to myself this year about balance and learning like when it's okay. Like I don't know, like there was a moment in the summer where I felt like I wasn't doing enough and like not writing enough songs or not playing enough shows, and like you can't do everything at once. And so once I learned to kind of balance where my creative energy was going and like where what I was focusing on, I feel like I was able to kind of create a sort of healthier like
Yeah.
pattern. I say with caution because I don't know if like
It's hard. Balance is
it's
hard.
hard. Balance is really hard, but it's really important.
It's super important, but
Yeah.
it's very tricky, especially when you're juggling a career and your
Yeah.
life, because some of them can get so intertwined at the same time.
That's the problem too. Well, not a problem. I shouldn't say it's a problem, but that's what happens. Like it's really hard when everything intertwines and it's hard sometimes to separate life from your career. And you have to have those moments of just like a Sunday night sitting at home watching a movie and realizing that that's okay. And you are allowed to sit on the couch and drink wine and watch a rom-com and just like do that. That's good. That's really healthy.
Yep, yep. That's exactly what we were doing in Nashville too. Just
Exactly.
on the couch.
Memory comes
watching-
up.
Yeah. But this summer you've been really busy. I mean, I remember you were performing at Dundas Square, which that was huge. And then you performed at Country on the Bay in Thunder Bay. So how was your summer? How was performing at festivals? How much did you enjoy it?
It was cool. It was, I have these moments sometimes, and I know you and I have talked about this so many times, like just in general with both of our careers, that if you could take yourself and look back and tell yourself, like your 5 year ago self, that this is what you'd be doing, you wouldn't believe it. And those are the moments that keep me going, where I'm like, because it's hard. And like you have these moments where you start doubting yourself. And I'm like, those are the moments where I remind myself that it's worth it and things happen. And if you work hard, you persevere and it works out. And so, but yeah, those two specifically, the Young and Dundas Square and Country on the Bay, were two highlights for sure. And just getting, I mean, both for different reasons, but Country on the Bay specifically, just getting to be a part of a country music festival, like this huge country music festival, and with Walker Hayes headlining and Brothers Osborne and Dean Brody, and like you just see these names on the poster that you look up to and artists that you've admired and that you've listened to on the radio, and then you see your name and you're like, what? Like, it's so weird. And so on that day, I actually went to the merch tent and bought a t-shirt with the list on the back. And they were so cute. It was a bunch of teenagers working at the merch tent. And they're like, no, 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 like you're performing, we'll give it to you. And I was like, you don't understand. I have to buy this t-shirt. Like, please let me buy the t-shirt so I can have it as a memory. But it's cool. It's those are the moments that really motivate you to keep going because you just get to be in front of, and there's nothing like a festival crowd. And I'm sure anyone that's played a festival knows that because everybody's, and just like even as a fan attending a festival, like there's such a different vibe when you're there in the audience, and like people are so passionate about country music. And so it was so cool to stand up on stage in front of all these people who I don't know, and I had no idea if they were going to know anything about me. Like I kind of went in with this expectation that I was like, they don't know who I am, and that's okay, but like the goal today is to make them remember. And then there were so many people as I was looking out singing all the words to all my songs, and I was like, oh, they did their homework. I'm like, this is so cool.
It's such
Yeah,
a surreal feeling when people are
it's so
singing
surreal.
songs back to you. I can't imagine what it must be like as an artist because you put
It's
your heart
crazy.
and soul into these songs and like you're writing them from such a personal experience. And then to see just
Yeah,
enjoy listening to your music, to know it that much that they're singing along with you as you sit on stage. It's such a wow,
it's
like, I'm
so
there sort of moment.
so rewarding. And it's just, again, like one of those moments that motivates you to keep going. And it's like, okay, so what I'm saying is clearly or like in some sort of way resonating with people listening to it. And that's all you can really ask for is to, because I think that's what's always drawn me into music. And is you're able to like no matter who the person is, no matter what people believe in or like anything, like you can be two completely opposite person or two opposite people, but a song can bring you together. And I think that's really cool. And I don't know, so like when I get to write songs and get to see people singing them and see them smiling, I'm like, I did something today, and that's a pretty cool feeling.
You did something right. You did
I did
something.
something today. Yeah, something's going okay.
And now Country on the Bay, that was your first big festival that you've ever done. And now, next summer, you're performing again at a festival. This one's in
Yes.
Nashville.
Yeah, very excited. The Hollywood Country Jamboree, and yeah, like crazy, very, very cool. I didn't know anything about that lineup too. And so when they had asked me, when the festival had reached out at the end of this past summer, I was like, yeah, this sounds like a great time. And I've heard nothing but wonderful things. And then obviously the rest of the lineup came out, like Tyler Joe Miller. Like it's just, it's so cool. It's just, it's so nice too to have, like it's something to look forward to in July, and just knowing that it's like, wow, I still get to play shows, and that's really cool and really reassuring that you still get to keep going and getting to write more songs and play them and meet new people and get to like get to travel too a little bit too, right? And get to see different parts of Ontario or Canada or wherever you are, and that's a cool way to see some of the world, and you get to experience it a different way, and you're with people that you love.
Yeah.
And
You're with all
yeah,
your friends. All your friends
exactly.
can come out there and support because Belleville too, it's not far. Like Thunder Bay was a bit, it's
Oh, it
fun.
was a trek.
People don't understand Ontario is so big.
Huge.
To get from
Huge.
like one spot, like let's say like Niagara Falls to go to Thunder Bay, that is probably like a 14-hour drive. Like that is a long drive. And
I
like
was
for Belleville,
comparing
it's not that far.
No, only a couple hours. And when I just was in Nashville a couple weeks ago, people were asking because like talking about people were talking about summers and shows they played and stuff. And I was explaining to people in Nashville that I've never been up to Ontario that I was like, I can get actually here driving. I can drive from Toronto to Nashville quicker than I can drive from Toronto to Thunder Bay. And I was like, that's crazy. Like I can go to a completely different country, but then in my own province, I'm like, ah, just gotta fly. It's a little bit quicker that way.
Insane. It's funny. I saw a TikTok, and on this TikTok was like he was roasting Canada and he was roasting Ontario, and he goes,
There.
you can go from like I don't know. He was saying like Italy to Russia and like Russia to Italy back, and like it's still a shorter amount of time.
I
Or
think
you
I
can
saw
go from like somewhere in Canada to somewhere else in
Actually,
Canada.
I think you sent me this.
I probably did.
I think you did.
Because it's like everybody who lives in
Crazy.
Canada. Because it's true. Because
It is.
Canada is so big and it's so tedious to go places. But Thunder Bay, you still had an awesome time. And I mean,
Amazing time.
Belleville's only a couple hours away, so I'm sure me, obviously, and like a bunch of other of us are gonna come and support
It's
you.
so fun.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be fun. And now speaking of new music, because you were just mentioning how new festival, in
Yeah.
July. We still got a
Yeah.
couple months until July. So obviously the wheels are still rolling with new songs. And have a new song coming out titled The Worst Thing. So
I do.
take us through this one.
Yeah. And I guess like officially, I mean, today's October 31st and I haven't put it out on Instagram yet. So if anybody listens to this before I announce it, then they get the release date before it actually comes out, which is kind of fun. But this song is I'm really excited for this song. So it's coming out November 17th. So I guess
Put in your calendar.
Yeah, 3 weeks now. I don't even can't do math. 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks.
2.5 weeks because I come home soon.
Yes, yes, you do. So it's getting closer to the release date, which is really fun and exciting. And releasing new music is always really scary, but I don't know. This one, I'm really, really, really excited about the song. I think there was this feeling that I had when I wrote this song, and I wrote this with Lydia Sutherland and Rich Cloak, so the same writers of Ain't That Bad. And so I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty confident it was either we had written Ain't That Bad, and then there might have been another song in between that the three of us wrote, but then it was either the worst thing immediately after in our write, or it was the second write. So they were pretty close together that we wrote Ain't That Bad and The Worst Thing. But I don't know, like I was just, when we were writing the song and talking about it, like you see so many people in your life go through relationships that end or situationships that end, and there's no reason for it. And when you listen to your friends talk, or when you listen to, you know, whoever talked to you about that, people always say like, I just wish that this person had like cheated or like given me a reason to hate them, and then you can move on. And I think there's something to be said about when just something ends with no reason. Like it sucks and it's a really bad feeling, and you just wish that, you know, if you had that peace of mind or you had that reason, then you could find a way to move on. So we kind of took that idea and ran with it into the song, and immediately, like I always try to trust my gut after we finish writing something. And I think I sent this actually to you immediately after we had written it, on the day of too, because as soon as I'm like, this is a good song, I send it out to everybody and I'm like, please tell me what you think, because I want to record it right now. And so yeah, and I actually looked back the other day, oh my God, that was not English. We wrote it last June. So the beginning of last summer. And so just over a year ago, and the song's already coming out. So, and I think it sounds pretty good. I think we put a lot of work into this one, and it's this cool new fresh pop country sound that's like slightly different than everything else, but still like a very Paige vibe, but a little bit different and a little bit more heartbreak, I think, than we've ever gone before. Like the lyrics are sad. It's a very sad song.
It's sad, but it's so good. I remember,
it's a banger. It's a banger.
And I'm not being biased here. Like bias aside, I remember when you sent me that song. When I first heard that song, I'm like, this has to be out. This has to be out. Like, so long, I'm like, this has to be out. Like, why is it not out? So now that it's coming out, I am very happy, and I can assure everybody that's listening, you are going to love the song, because it's something that we can all relate to as well. Yeah. Like we've all been in a relationship where something has ended like very abruptly and you don't know why, or like you've seen friends that have gone through this. So everybody is like affected by this, and like it sounds so harsh, but like everyone dealt with something like
been through. Yeah, it's really relatable. And I think you're right. Like everyone, even if it's like yourself, or I mean, I think every single person has probably been there, has likely been there, because it just like, it's that relationship that ends and it's like, this just sucks. Like there's no way to put it besides like, this is the worst thing that could have happened. And so I don't know, hopefully you find your person in the song, but don't get too sad. But it's like your get through it song.
If you get too sad listening to that, just throw on Ain't That Bad.
Yeah, exactly. First thing into Ain't That Bad, and then you'll feel like a new person and you'll be great. Great. Sad girl empowerment.
That's all we need in life. And like exactly that too, that single, you released that one, and take in, it's gonna be a year.
I know. That's crazy. It's so weird to think, and like the risk of sounding like overly like cliche right now, but being like, this year has flown by, but this year has gone by so fast. And I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but the fact that it's already November and like heading into November is crazy. Yeah, November 11th is 1 year since Ain't That Bad came out. Insane.
Yeah,
that's so weird.
The year has flown by. If people just say otherwise, I don't know what they're smoking, but
I don't know. Yeah, they're on it.
they're on another planet because this
I
year.
missed a lot. I don't know what happened.
No, but that's so exciting. So the worst thing, November 17th. So
Yes.
in a couple weeks, yeah. And soon
Yeah,
enough,
soon.
when you hear that song's gonna be released. And it's on every platform as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Anywhere you stream your music. And our plan, I don't know, this is still like a TBD. So if this doesn't happen, then but we're gonna the plan is to do a really like not meaningful, but a video to go along with it. Some sort of like visual content or visual component, I guess I should say, to go with the song. So hopefully that pans out in this year. It's hard to say with the music industry sometimes. I always go soon, and soon just leaves it very open-ended. But that's the goal, to do something like that, to add like a second piece to this song, because this song does mean a lot to me, and we've put so much work and time and just actually like a ton of time. We've worked on this song for I couldn't even tell you because the year is all blended together, but it's been a better half of the year just making sure that this is like the right sound. And just we believe so much in this song that we really wanted to make sure that everything was as perfect as it can be when you're putting it out.
I have two things to say to that. Number one, if you need somebody to be in the music video, miss,
I'll hire you on the spot right now. Round two.
my agent will get in contact with you.
Good. I will connect with you.
Like, and number two, this is the perfect time to put a song out like that as well. I mean, because like technically, like summer did just end like not too long ago, and like fall into winter is when all of us listen to sappy
We
songs.
need the sad girl vibes. It's so, you know what? I think there's something this is so embarrassing and I don't know why I'm sharing this, but I've already just like started the story so I can't stop now. I love like going to the gym and going on the treadmill to sad girl music because I'm like
Okay, Paige,
I'm motivated. I'm like
there.
go there. And I'm like, if anybody could hear what I was listening to, I'm like, it's like sad breakup country songs. And I'm like, this motivates me. Like I'm really into Ashley
Okay.
Cook's breakup songs right now. I don't know. Because they're so good. They're so
Ashley
good.
Cook's breakup songs are bangers.
So good. Thank you. So next time you see me at the gym, because you know, you've motivated me to do that, I'll give you that. Thank you, Celine, for the motivation. That now I'm listening to sad girl country on the treadmill.
But tell me you don't listen to All Too Well, like the 10-minute long version. I swear to God, Paige, if you do,
No, I haven't. I will say that. I currently
need something in it to like get you going. Like Your Place by Ashley Cook, that's a
yeah,
song.
that's one of my go-tos. And I'm not gonna lie, Tolerate It from Evermore by Taylor Swift is one of them too. And I think that's her saddest song ever. Just do me a favor and listen to it after we're done this, and you're gonna be like, what is wrong with you? And I'll be like, well,
I will take a listen to that. I will.
it's really sad, but I don't know. I like have this moment where I'm like, oh, yes. It's like cathartic. Maybe that's why I do it. It's cathartic.
Cathartic.
Yeah. I'm not really sure how to describe what it means, except for
Cathartic. I've never heard that
letting
word.
the feelings go. Like, you know, when you're in a festival or a concert and you're just like screaming like that sad
Therapeutic.
it's a cathartic experience. And
Got you. That's the first
that's the
time.
best I can do with this.
The first time I heard you say a really big word like that. Caught me off guard.
She's intelligent.
Not just a blonde. She's an
Not just a blonde. Doesn't just write songs. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Actually, speaking of Taylor, since we were just on the topic, she released 1989, and I know you're a fiend for her music. I mean, I think you saw the movie 3 times now. Is it?
I have. That is correct. I am currently, if anybody else wants to go a 4th time, just let me know. I'm available.
Hilarious. Okay, so 1989 came out, and obviously there's a couple new songs on it that from the vault. What's your favorite one from them?
That's such a tough question. I'm in a toss up right now between Say Don't Go and, you know, oh, it's just so, there's something about that song too. And I think I actually was learning it today because I wanted to learn it. And I was reading and like taking in the lyrics, and they are so sad. Like it is a really like she is pouring her heart and soul out. And I think sometimes like when it's in a pop song like that, when you're like bopping. You're like, wow, it's such a banger. But then lyrically, when I was looking at it today, I was like, this is such a well-written song. Like she has all these moments. So either between Say Don't Go, or Is It Over Now? But the two, oh, they're just so good. It's so hard. It's just so good.
They're both really good. And you know
They're
me, I'm
both really good.
not a huge Taylor Swift fan.
And you, I just want everybody for the record to know right now, anybody watching this video, Celine texted me at midnight when the release came out with a screenshot that she was listening to Taylor Swift. And I have never, never in my life been such a proud best friend.
That's hilarious. I did.
So shout out to Taylor.
They were good songs.
They're
Like,
good. Yeah.
they were
I
putting
love her.
my feel. I'm like, oh, why are you doing this to me right now, Taylor? But yeah, they're really
Relatable. They're relatable. And that's why we love Taylor Swift.
throughout her whole career, there's not one song that
Yeah.
someone can't relate to. Like out of her catalog is massive. There's not one you can relate to one song for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's honestly, I mean, I've been a fan of hers since 2006, like since that debut album came out. And I remember hearing Tim McGraw, like her first single and our song on the radio, and they had just come out and asking my mom to take me to Walmart. And I was like, can I please go buy, like, I really, really want to buy a CD. And I bought Taylor Swift's CD, and I've still to this day bought every single one just to have them, just to keep that tradition going. But yeah, there's always been something. And I think being young, but knowing that I wanted to learn how to write songs, and hearing somebody like Taylor Swift, like put out all these songs that were relatable, that you're like, I want to write songs like Taylor Swift. And I think there's a lot of people, like a lot of other songwriters and stuff, that would agree with that point, that that's like, they're all heavily inspired by Taylor's writing, into like find that relatability with listeners. And I don't know, there's something, and I really have this theory. I don't know if this is true, but take it for what it is. I think there's certain things that any other songwriter could put in a song that would be so weird, but when Taylor does it, you're like, yeah, of course, it makes sense. And then it's fine.
I think she's on such a different level now that like she can literally put a toilet in her song.
And we would love it.
Oh, listen. Yes. It's like she's already reached that stardom where anything she talks about, anything that's in her lyrics, it's good.
Listen. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, so actually before we jump to one more topic here, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. So thoughts on it. What do you think? Do you like the relationship? Do we think it's more of a PR sort of relationship? Because I've been hearing, like, I've been seeing both sides. Like, I've been seeing pictures of them like together and it looks cute. But then I've also now, these new videos have been coming up about how it's a PR stunt, which if it's a PR stunt, it's a well done PR stunt.
I was gonna say, then they're killing it. They're doing so well.
They're doing amazing, but they are really cute together at the same time. So I'm hoping it's not a PR stunt.
Me too. And that's where I feel on it too. And I just think, like, just as a, I don't know, like, just like, I like seeing people happy, and they look genuinely happy together. And I think that's cool. I also really love this trend on TikTok where people are like writing the breakup songs that she's going to put out if they ever break up, and they're like football driven lyrics. And I'm like, it's cute. It's really funny. But yes, I have people who are watching this might get so mad at me, but that's okay. I've barely watched football in my life. If anybody wants to know, Celine and I did a Super Bowl event last year together. Actually, Travis Kelce was playing. Little did we know that. Here's the best. We didn't even know that. Or maybe you knew that. I didn't know that.
Two of us, we are not NFL people here.
No. But I've watched football games this year to see if she's going to be there. I'm definitely one of those people. And I'm not super sorry about it.
She's definitely getting a cut though. I think like
NFL loves her. Loves her.
There's something like, because the NFL, like their intros, like for their games or whatever, it's like welcome to New York themed now.
It is? Yeah.
And the Chiefs have been winning. I think they just got their 13 game streak snapped like a couple of
Yes.
I saw this on TV. But I swear, like I think I don't want to say like sports are rigged, but sometimes you kind of think they are a little bit rigged, because imagine this, the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl. I mean, the amount of viewers that will watch it now, new viewers.
Taylor's going to be there.
And like the thing is,
So crazy.
these will spend the money to go wherever Taylor Swift is.
100%. Like I think that's crazy. Like, first of all, like just how much money her tour has generated this year. Like, as a businesswoman, you're like just blowing this music industry out of the water right now. It's pretty crazy. Um, I forgot what I was gonna say, but I had a thing. Oh, because I think that, again, with me and all my football knowledge here, I believe Kansas City lost this weekend and she was not at the game. And people are like in the TikTok comments being like, maybe she's the good luck charm. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe.
Did not know that she was not at the game, so maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, she wasn't there. I didn't know that part.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, well, it's gonna be really cool to see what happens when the Super Bowl rolls around, if the Chiefs are in it and like Taylor Swift's there and how expensive the tickets are and all that sort of stuff. So it's gonna be cool to keep an eye on. Going back to you, before I let
Yes.
you go, new music, 2024. You sent me a couple of songs that I get to listen to for anybody else, of course.
Of
So
course.
are they going to be released? You don't have to say the name of the song, but like you can kind of touch on what the songs might be about, what we're like going
Yeah. So I love breakup songs, just kind of in general, but all kind of like ways of approaching breakup songs. So not just like, I mean, the worst thing is a breakup song, but then Ain't That Bad is also a breakup song, but also more of like a self-empowerment song. So like kind of touching on all the different like points of breakups and finding yourself and still like the more positive aspects. So there's definitely a few more coming out in the new year with a project, and I'm very excited to kind of have everything out there as like this collection. Just because I don't know, like I feel that I've been really working the last, and I think everyone obviously is always looking to find like try to find, you know, what they're looking to say and put together this concept. And I've been really thinking about this and really like writing songs and being very particular about what's coming out. But the first one that's coming out in the new year, I won't say the name yet, but it is more of still a breakup vibe, but we're going back to the self-empowerment, like finding yourself and feeling yourself again and that kind of positive energy. And then there's also one that we've just started working on for next year that I'm pretty excited about, that is one of your favorites. And so that I started playing live only because you said I had to. And then I was like, wait, I really like this song.
so good. It's so good.
It's purely just your song at this point. So yes, there's lots of new music coming out next year. We've been working really, really hard this past, I guess, since the summer kind of ended. So since the beginning of September, the last 2 months, just like really making a plan of music in the new year and getting things already started. So it will come out just like boom, boom, boom. And just the more music, the better.
The more music, the better. The more music for Paige Rutledge, the better.
And then we get to play festivals again in the summer. And it's it's exciting. I'm really, really optimistic and really looking forward to 2024.
2024 is going to be a good year. I mean, and I
Yeah.
started off in Nashville.
Exactly. I was gonna say, how's our year starting? Nashville, Tennessee?
Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah, 10 days, 10 more days, please.
Absolutely.
Same
So-
place,
Yeah,
same
we'll be there.
apartment.
So anybody watching, if they want to come back with your favorite country duo, we'll be there.
We will be there. We will be everywhere in Nashville.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Living our best lives.
The amount of the things that are running through my brain right now that I'm not gonna reiterate and say it on camera. But I know we will be covering all those bases.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, I love it. Well, honestly, looking forward to 2024, all the new songs that you have up your sleeve, the festival season when it rolls around, because rather than later, summer is going to be here because
I know.
So
Super weird to think about that. That was kind of a weird thought for me when I did it, like when I signed like this contract and like talked about this festival and everything. When I looked at the date, I was like, July 2024. I was like, whoa, that feels so far away. But you're right, it's gonna come sooner than it. Not that we want to rush the time, obviously, but it is exciting to have something to look forward to and just be like, wow, the first of, you know, whatever else is gonna happen that's like this coming summer, and it's a pretty good start if you already have a couple things
Oh,
booked, and it just becomes exciting.
you're only gonna get more things booked too.
So good.
Still November, you still got time. Festivals are still kind of rounding up their lineups and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And then we got CCMA too
Woo!
in September.
Edmonton 2024.
Yeah, so that it's gonna be a really exciting year next year. Very excited, and thank you so much for hopping on, Paige. So we'll continue
you.
our chat on text now.
Yeah, I was gonna say yes. And yeah, like just before we go and wrap up, I do want to thank you for having me. And I don't know if anybody listening can tell, well, we've been through this, but we actually had a discussion before this of we're like, how like be professional on camera.
Improper.
We still haven't seen each other in,
It's been a bit. It's been at least a month now.
I'm gonna say like a month and a half.
And a little context on that, that is because I love how we're getting so personal now. That is because I moved to Vancouver. So
Celine's a star.
I'm living, yeah, thank you, with the Canucks. Go Canucks, go.
Woo, sports.
Sports. I'm in Vancouver and you are home in Oakville. So we are 5 hours of a flight away from each other.
5 hours of a flight because that is how big Canada is. But
4-day drive, a 4-day drive.
Literally. And but the biggest shout out to country was Celine for bringing our friendship together like 2.5 years ago. Now going on 3.
And it's funny, I remember the video that we did, I captioned it too. We were just talking about this. Everything happens for a reason. And like, look at that. Like, you know what I mean? It's so wild how like we're such a big part in each other's lives now. And this is how it started. So everybody listening right now, this is how our friendship began. And
yeah, it's true. It's true.
We've known each other for 2.5 years, almost 3 years. That's not
crazy.
even a long period of time. The amount of stuff that we have done together.
Let's trade it for the world. And I think you're right. I didn't even put together that everything happens for a reason, but that's pretty cool because you and I talk about that all the time. And so like, that's just like a nice little like full circle moment there. That's pretty cool. I like that. I'm holding on to that for the rest of the day.
I still have the picture that you made me. It's in my room because our song, if you go down, I'm
going down too.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, now this is seriously turning into just a complete talking.
We're just hanging out now. Yep.
We're just chilling. But okay, thank you again, Paige. Appreciate
you.
I'll call you.
Okay. Love you. Bye. I'm nervous.
Oh,
I'm actually not nervous at all. I just can't stop giggling already because I'm like a child on Christmas morning.
Something's gonna happen. One of us is gonna slip up and say something, and we're gonna be like, cut it out.
Go ahead, start over.
We'll mention the name, cut it out. Okay.
I said blooper reel will be unreal with this.
You're starting with all these, so it's perfect.
And like go off. Okay, I'm focused.
Okay. 3. I'm gonna laugh. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I froze. I want to try to figure out a different way how to intro.
Okay, I'm done coughing. Probably not, but
probably not. It's okay.
Probably not.
I'm just gonna intro it how I usually do. Okay, we'll start it. 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Country with Celine. And on today's show, I have a very, very, very special guest. Please welcome Miss Paige Rutledge.